Froggy went a-courtin' and he did right, Froggy went a-courtin' and he did right, Froggy went a-courtin' and he did ride, a sword and a pistol by his side, He rode right up to Miss Mouse's door, Let me in. He rode right up to Miss Mouse's door, He rode right up to Miss Mouse's door, and he hit it so hard that he made it roar, Then Miss Mousey let him in, Come in, Mr. Froggy. Then Miss Mousey let him in, Then Miss Mousey let him in, and the way they courted it was a sin, He took Miss Mousey right on his knee, Took Miss Mouse right on his knee, Took Miss Mouse right on his knee, and he says, Miss Mousey, would you marry me, Miss Mousey says, I don't know about that, Miss Mousey says, I don't know about that, Miss Mousey says, don't know about that, but I believe to my soul you have to ask Uncle Rat, The old rat laughed as he gave away the bride, The old rat laughed as he gave away the bride, The old rat laughed as he gave away the bride. He laughed till he shook his fat sides, Where will the wedding supper be, Where will the wedding supper be, Where will the wedding supper be? Away down yonder in a holler tree, What did he get for the wedding gown, What did he get for the wedding gown, What did he get for the wedding gown? The piece of hide of an old white hound, What will the wedding supper be, What will the wedding supper be, What will the wedding supper be? 2 butter beans and a black-eyed pea, The first come in was a big June bug, First come in was a big June bug, The first to come in was a big June bug, dancing around with a half a pint jug, The second one in was a bumblebee, Second come in was a bumblebee, Second come in was a bumblebee, dancing around with a fiddle on his knee, The third man in was a little gray mouse, The third man in was a little gray mouse, There's the bride's brother. The third come in was a little gray mouse, and he says, Mr. Froggy, could I rent you a house? Froggy went a-traveling across the lake, Froggy went a-traveling across the lake, Froggy went a-traveling across the lake, and he got swallowed up by a big black snake,
That's Doc Watson on mybluesroots.com with Froggy Went A-Courtin'. Doc Watson being the great, great country picker. One of the 3 pickers, if you've seen that DVD out there, along with Earl Scruggs and Randy Skaggs. The 3 of them together make quite a group. And we heard Froggy Went A-Courtin', and every time I hear of that, I think of my mom. She used to sing that to me when I was a little tyke, and she still likes that tune. And that put me in mind of a theme that we need to definitely look at, and I call that Miss Sandy's Blues, because, well, my musical influence, of course, comes directly from her, and all of this music that you're hearing is directly coming through Miss Sandy. So let's take a look at all of the music that Miss Sandy loves, and all different kinds of music, whether it's blues. Right now she's into B.B. King real big, so we'll be hearing some of that. She loves country music and kind of showed me the way with country music, especially people like Hank Williams Jr., And, well, we're just going to take a look at all things, the things I know she likes and things that she's come to like recently by listening to this very station. So let's take a look. As Palmdale Slim brings you Miss Sandy's Blues, we're going to start off, and you think of your mom, and you think of, apple pie and mom and baseball. You don't necessarily think of this song when you think of your mother, but this is the song we're going to start out with. Because Hank Williams Jr. is somebody that I've always liked, and it came about after hearing this record being played in the house. This song specifically was one that always kind of spoke to me. I don't know what that says about either myself or Miss Sandy, and we won't go there, will we? Here's Hank Williams Jr. kicking off Miss Sandy's Blues with Whiskey Bent and Hellbound on mybluesroots.com.
I've got a good woman at home who thinks I do no wrong, but sometimes, Lord, she just ain't always around. And you know that's when I fall. Now I can't help myself at all, and I get songs about a rambling man, put a cold one in my hand, 'cause you know I love to hear those guitar sounds. But don't you play, I'm so lonesome I could cry, 'cause I'll get all balled up inside, and I'll get
standing by the door. He fell in love with an Indian maid over in the antique store. Elijah just stood there and never let it show, so she could never answer yes or no. He always wore his Sunday feathers and held a tomahawk. The maiden wore her beads and braids and hoped someday he'd talk. Elijah, too stubborn to ever show a sign, because his heart was made of knotty pine. Poor Elijah, he never got a kiss. Poor Elijah, he don't know what he missed. Is it any wonder that his face is red? Elijah, that poor old wooden head. went nowhere. His heart was set on the Indian maid with the coal black hair. Elijah just stood there and never let it show, so she could never answer yes or no. And then one day a wealthy customer bought the Indian maid and took her oh so far away, but old Elijah stayed. Elijah just stands there as lonely as can be and wishes he was still an old pine tree. Oh, Elijah, he never got a kiss. Oh, Elijah, he don't know what he missed. Is it any wonder that his face is red? Elijah, that poor old wooden head.
Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Monday morning rail. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors, 25 sacks of mail. All along the southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out at Kankakee and rolls along past houses, farms, and fields, passing trains that have no name, and freight yards full of old black men, and the graveyards of the rusted automobiles. Good morning, America, how are you? Said, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Dealing card games with the old man in the club car. Penny a point, ain't no one keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottle, and feel the wheels rumbling neath the floor. And the sons of Pullman porters and the sons of engineers write their father's magic carpets made of steel. And mothers with their babes asleep are rocking to the gentle beat, and the rhythm of the rails is all they feel. Good morning, America, how are you? Said, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Nighttime on the city of New Orleans, changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home, and we'll be there by morning. Through the Mississippi darkness, rolling down to the sea. But all the towns and people seem to fade into a bad dream, and the steel rail still ain't heard the news. The conductor sings his songs again, the passengers will please refrain. This train got to disappear in railroad blues. Good night, America, how are you? train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done.
Arlo Guthrie on MyBluesRoots.com as we're taking a look at Miss Sandy's Blues. That's a vinyl release right here in our vinyl library from the album Hobo's Lullaby. Great vinyl album that Miss Sandy had for years. I heard that one growing up and ended up with it years later, and it's an important part of our musical mix here. We heard Arlo there doing the Lightning Bar Blues, and before that we heard the big hit off that album, City of New Orleans. And we also heard Hank Williams Sr., somebody that I know my mother had in her influence of musical influences as she grew up. You know, she was very much into the country thing, and Hank Williams was certainly a part of that. And so we heard called Elijah, the story about the wooden Indian. Coming up next is a song that Miss Sandy came to recently, listening to it on this very station. She heard the song by the band Ophelia. Somehow put her in mind of her dad, and well, let's listen to the lyrics and see what that's all about, shall we? We'll be hearing some B.B. King, and also we'll be taking a trip down the Lost Highway as we take a look at Miss Sandy's Blues on MyBluesRoots.com.
Ophelia. done me wrong, baby. You're gonna be sorry someday. Thrill is gone, baby, the thrill is gone away from me. Hey, the thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away from me. Although I'll still live on, but so lonely I'll be. The thrill is gone. The thrill is gone away for good. I said the thrill is gone, baby. The thrill is gone away for good. I know I'm gonna be over it all one day, baby, like I know a good man should. I'm free now, baby. I'm free from your spell. Oh, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free now, baby. I'm free from your spell. Now that it's all over, all I can do is wish you well. I'm over it, finally over it now. All right. Finally over you. One, two, three, four. This is a mean old world, baby. keep the public from knowing, baby, what I've got on my mind. To mistreat me no more than, baby, 'cause my heart won't feel no pain.
This one's going out to all you folks back home. I'm a rolling stone, all alone and alone, and for a life of sin, I have paid the cost. When I pass by, oh, people say it's just another guy on the lost highway, just a deck of cards and a jug of wine. And a woman's life made a life like mine. Oh, the day we met, I went astray. I started rolling down that lost highway. land, nearly 22. Neither good nor bad, just a kid like you. And now I'm lost, too late to pray. Lord, I paid the cost on the lost highway. This road of sin, or you're sorrow bound. Take my advice, or you'll curse the day you started rolling down that lost highway. You started rolling down that lost highway.
MyBluesRoots.com, Palmdale Slim, taking a trip down the Lost Highway with you and the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. That's from the vinyl collection here from the great Will the Circle Be Unbroken, that great first volume of seminal country rock music. The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band traveled to Nashville and hung out with a lot of the musicians there. And that was the result. That was actually one that was recorded by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. No other guest artists on that particular Hank Williams tune. And we played that because Miss Sandy, my mom, loves that tune. And so we played that one. She likes that recording specifically. Heard it played here, I don't know, 3 months ago and said, I really like that a lot. She said, it sounds like a record. I said, that's because it is. We have over 800 songs in the library, came directly off vinyl, and that commitment to letting you hear the music in its most pristine quality is something that we're proud of here at MyBluesRoots.com. And right before the Lost Highway, we took a trip with Eric Clapton and B.B. King. We first heard, right before the Lost Highway, we heard B.B. doing Mean Old World. Sure enough, it is. And right before that, we heard Eric Clapton and B.B. doing B.B.'s famous tune, The Thrill Is Gone. We're exploring all this kind of music that Miss Sandy likes, and that'll give you a little bit more insight into Palmdale Slim, because she likes all kinds of stuff. Coming up next, we're going to hear a little bit of jazz from Pops and Duke Ellington. Don't get around much anymore on MyBluesRoots.com.
Mr. Sanders dance, oh, they crowded the floor. Couldn't bear it without you. Don't get around much anymore. Thought I'd visit the club. Got as far as the door. They they have asked me about you. Don't get around much anymore. Darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up memories? Been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore.
Here's somebody you know for sure. Neil Diamond. Thanks very much. I'm gonna do one song for you, but I'm gonna do it good. Dry your eyes, take your song out when it's a newborn afternoon. And if you can't recall the singer, can you still recall the tune? Dry your eyes and play it slowly, just like you're marching off to war. Sing it like you always wanted, like you sung it once before. And from the center of the circle to the midst of the waiting crowd, if it ever is forgotten, sing it long and sing it loud, and come dry your eyes. It taught us more about living than we ever cared to know. And we came to learn a secret, and we never let it go. dry your eyes. Dry your eyes. Take your song out. It's a newborn afternoon. And if you can't recall the singer, you can still recall the tune. Come dry your eyes. Come dry your eyes. Dry your eyes.
All right. Neil Diamond. Great song.
Yeah, I'm going steady with Ann, or Betty, she's going steady with me. We receive our meal in the same meal bias, we watch the same TV. I got her rug burns on my elbows, she's got them on her knees. Yeah, I'm going steady with Ann, or Betty, she's going steady with me. Yeah, I've been thinking my brains out. I've been working at the hybrid store. I've been trying to put a chicken in the window, chasing with a wolf from the door. Betty's been down in the iron, old man, bringing home energy. Yeah, I'm going steady with Ann, oh Betty, she's going steady with me. I've been speaking to her in English. She's been speaking in English too. We always speak the same language, 'cause I always get them through. We'll meet her at a dance at the Union Hall. It was a night with Betty G. Yeah, I'm going steady with Ann, oh Betty, she's going steady with me. Yeah, I'm going steady with Ann, oh Betty, she's going steady with me. We receive our meal in the same meal box, we watch the same TV. I got her rug burns on my elbows, she's got them on her knees. Yeah, I'm going steady with Ann, oh Betty, she's going steady with me. Oh, I'm going steady with Ann, oh Betty, she's going steady with me. Yeah, I'm going steady with Ann, oh Betty, she's going steady with me. Put it up.
Ah, yes, that's the low Cherokee Bay. Ah, yeah, that's the Norman
One night when the moon was bright on a moonlit day, that is where I found my little Cherokee maid. The memory of that night of love is lingering yet, and I know I never will forget my little Cherokee maiden. I love her so. And though we're far apart, I know I'll never be trading my love for her for anybody else's heart. Someday I'll make a trip back to the Cherokee Strip, and I'll carry her away with me. And straight as an arrow flies, we'll ride to paradise, my sweet little chickadee, my little Cherokee maiden and me.
Now that's the stuff we don't have to know.
On MyBluesRoots.com with the Cindy Walker tune Cherokee Maiden. That's off the vinyl collection here, and Merle's a big favorite of Miss Sandy's, and that's what we're taking a look at here, Miss Sandy's Blues, Miss Sandy being Palmdale Slim's mother, just as simple as that. I thought we'd take a look at all the different kind of music that Miss Sandy likes, because that's certainly one of the reasons why Palmdale Slim's musical catalog is so wide. And we just want to take a look at all these different artists, whether they're country or blues, like we've heard earlier, or hard to pin down, like the guy we heard right before Merle Haggard, John Prine, has been called a folk artist, country, rock, whatever, it doesn't matter. That was a vinyl album that Miss Sandy had for years, and I picked it up, and we heard a song called Iron Ore Betty. I love that one. That's a fun little ditty there. Hope you enjoyed it, too. We also heard Neil Diamond, somebody that Miss Sandy always liked, and who knew, when I was a teenager growing up, Neil Diamond, that's not very hip. And then all of a sudden, there's Robbie Robertson producing a Neil Diamond album in the 70s called A Beautiful Noise, and what we heard was the result of that relationship, because, of course, Neil Diamond was invited to the Last Waltz, and that's what we heard, the band and Neil Diamond together with Dry Your Eyes. And we also started out with Pops Don't Get Around Much Anymore. Coming up next, this is a singer that Miss Sandy's always liked, and a lot of folks do, because he's got one of the great country voices ever. We're going to hear George Jones. This is from a more recent CD called The Cold Hard Truth. We're going to hear a song called Sinners and Saints. Sounds like a subject George might know a lot about on MyBluesRoots.com.
Johnny's in the jailhouse, sleeping it off. Church folks saying that his soul is lost. Man, you should have seen all their faces turn red just this morning when the preacher stood up and said, the only thing different in sinners and saints, one is forgiven and the other one ain't. Sally got in trouble a few years ago with a married man down in Tupelo. The way folks talk in this little old town, Lord, there ain't no way she's ever gonna live it down. The only thing different in sinners and saints, one is forgiven and the other one ain't. body's perfect, we're just flesh and blood. 1 foot on the high road, 1 in the mud. There's a mighty fine line between right and wrong. Don't put your finger no matter which side you're on. The only thing different in sinners and saints, one is forgiven and the other one ain't. The only thing different in sinners and saints, one is forgiven and the other one ain't. One is forgiven and the other one ain't.
Treat me wrong. Come and love you, daddy, all night long. All right now. Hey, hey. All right. See the girl with the diamond ring? She knows how to shake that thing. All right now, now, now. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Tell your mama, tell your pa, I'm gonna send you back to Arkansas. Oh, yes, ma'am. You don't do right. Don't do right. When you see me in misery, come on, baby, see about me now, yeah. All right. All right. Oh, play it, boy. When you see me in misery, come on, baby, see about me now, yeah. Hey, hey, all right. See the girl with the red dress on, she can do the birdland all night long, yeah, yeah. What I say? All right. Well, tell me what I say, yeah. Tell me what I say right now. Tell me what I say. Tell me what I say right now. Tell me what I say. Tell me what I say, yeah. And I wanna know. time. All right. One more time. Just one more time. Say that one more time, Red Dog. One more time. Say that one more time, Dog. One more time. Say that one more time, yeah. One more time. Say that one more time. Just one more time. Say that one more time, yeah. One more time. Oh.
listening to Miss Sandy's Blues on mybluesroots.com, and we just heard one of Miss Sandy's favorites, Emmylou Harris, and one of my favorite tunes, Evangeline. That's from the album of the same name out of our vinyl collection, and that was directly donated. We'll say that because I'm pretty sure it was donated by Miss Sandy. I'm sure I didn't just take it. I would never do that. We also heard Ray Charles, another one of Miss Sandy's favorites. That was a live cut with What I Say, parts 1 and 2. My mother has talked for many, many years about seeing Ray Charles. I believe it was at the Shrine Auditorium in the early 60s. And that's we just heard just what he sounded like when Miss Sandy got to see him live. One of the musical delights of her life, I know. And sorry I never got to see him, but we heard a little bit of what it sounded like right there. That was a live cut. Right off the vinyl collection. Coming up next, as we wrap up Miss Sandy's Blues, we're going to come full circle here. We started out with Doc Watson doing Froggy Wintercorton. And, you know, just recently, Bruce Springsteen put out the Pete Seeger Sessions, which was a collection of old folk songs that he and some friends got together and recorded in his big house up there in the Northeast. And I guess great minds think alike, because he liked this song, too. So we're going to wrap up Miss Sandy's Blues with Froggy Wintercorton with Bruce Springsteen and friends on mybluesroots.com.
Mr. Frog went a courting and he did right on. Froggy went a courting and he did right on. Froggy went a courting and he did right, a sword and pistol by his side on. He went down to Miss Mouse's door. He went down Miss Mouse's door. He went down Miss Mouse's door where he'd often been before. He took Miss Mouse upon his knee. Said, Miss Mouse, will you marry me? Without my Uncle Rat's consent, I wouldn't marry the president. Well, Uncle Rat, he gave his consent. Hey, Uncle Rat, he gave his consent. Uncle Rat, he gave his consent, and the weasel wrote the publishment. Well, now where will a wedding supper be? Where will a wedding supper be? Well, where will a wedding supper be? Way down yonder in the hollow tree. Go, sir. First come in was a flying moth. First come in was a flying moth. First come in was a flying moth. Laid out the tablecloth. Well, next come in was a Junie bug. Yeah, next come in was a Junie bug. Next come in was a Junie bug. She brought the whiskey and a water jug. Was a big black snake. Next come in was a big black snake. snake chased them all into the lake. Little piece of cornbread laying on a shelf. Little piece of cornbread laying on the shelf. Little piece of cornbread laying on the shelf. If you want me more, you can sing it yourself.
She stands on the banks of the mighty Mississippi, alone in the bare moonlight, waiting for a man, riverboat gambler, said that he'd return tonight. They used to waltz on the banks of the mighty Mississippi, loving the whole night through, till the riverboat gambler off to make a killing, bring it on back to you. Evangeline, Evangeline, curses the soul of a Mississippi queen that put her man away. Why you sing from South Louisiana, gambling in his veins? Evangeline from the Maritime, slowly going insane. High on the top of Hickory Hill, she stands in the lightning and thunder. Down on the river, boat was sinking. She watched that queen go under. Evangeline, Evangeline, curses the soul of the Mississippi queen that put her man away. Evangeline, Evangeline, curses the soul of the Mississippi queen that put her man away.
I'm so lonesome I could cry.
You're listening to MyBluesRoots.com, brought to you by Hank Williams.